Jupiter is the fifth planet from the Sun and the largest in the solar system. Jupiter is a gas giant, along with Saturn, with the other two giant planets, Uranus and Neptune, being ice giants. The Romans named it after their god Jupiter. Jupiter has at least 67 moons, including the 4 large Galilean moons discovered by Galileo Galilei in 1610.
Future targets for exploration in the Jupiter system include the probable ice-covered liquid ocean of its moon Europa. Formation and migration. Earth and its neighbor planets may have formed from fragments of planets after collisions, with Jupiter destroyed those super-Earths near the Sun. So, for example, the extrasolar planet HD 209,458b has a mass of, while Kappa Angel AB has a mass of. Theoretical models indicate that if Jupiter had much more mass than it does at present, it would shrink. Because of an eccentricity its orbit of 0.048, Jupiter's distance from the Sun varies by 75 million kilometers between its nearest approach, perihelion, and furthest distance, aphelion. The axial tilt of Jupiter is relatively small, only 3.13 degrees.
Entering a Hohmann transfer orbit from Earth to Jupiter from low Earth orbit requires a delta V of 6.3 km/s, which is comparable to the 9.7 km/s delta V needed to reach low Earth orbit. The 4 largest moons, visible from Earth with binoculars on a clear night, known as the Galilean Moons, are Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. Galilean Moons. The orbits of Io, Europa, and Ganymede, some of the largest satellites in the solar system, form a pattern known as ill-place resonance. For every 4 orbits that Io makes around Jupiter, Europa makes exactly 2 orbits and Ganymede makes exactly 1. Recent computer simulations suggest that Jupiter does not cause a net decrease in the number of comets that pass through the inner solar system, as its gravity perturbs their orbits inward in roughly the same numbers that it accretes or ejects them. In Vedic astrology, Hindu astrologers named the planet after Brihaspati, the religious teacher of the gods, and often called it Guru, which literally means the heavy one. In Germanic mythology, Jupiter is equated to Thor, whence the English name Thursday for the Roman dies Jovis. In the Central Asian Turkic myths, Jupiter is called Erantus or Erantus, from Aaron of uncertain meaning and Ultus, star.
Based on spectroscopy, Saturn is thought to be similar in composition to Jupiter, but the other giant planets Uranus and Neptune have relatively less hydrogen and helium. Mass and size. Jupiter's mass is 2.5 times that of all the other planets in the solar system combined. This is so massive that its bright center with the Sun lies above the Sun's surface at 1.068 solar radii from the Sun's center. Regularly these systems include a few planets with masses several times greater than Earth's super-Earths, orbiting closer to their star than Mercury is to the Sun, and sometimes also Jupiter-mass gas giants close to their star. Jupiter moving out of the inner solar system would have allowed the formation of inner planets, including Earth. Physical characteristics. Jupiter is composed primarily of gaseous and liquid matter. Jupiter was most recently visited by a probe in late February 2007, when New Horizons used Jupiter's gravity to increase its speed and bend its trajectory en route to Pluto. In 1997, the existence of the core was suggested by gravitational measurements, indicating a mass of from 12 to 45 times that of Earth, or roughly 4/14 of the total mass of Jupiter. The presence of a core during at least part of Jupiter's history is suggested by models of planetary formation that require the formation of a rocky or icy core, massive enough to collect its bulk of hydrogen and helium from the protosolar nebula. The 4 largest moons of Jupiter all orbit within the magnetosphere, which protects them from the solar wind. The magnetosphere of Jupiter is responsible for intense episodes of radio emission from the planet's polar regions.
The average density of Jupiter, 1.326 grams/centimeters-3, is the second highest of the giant planets, but lower than those of the 4 terrestrial planets. Composition. Jupiter's upper atmosphere is composed of about 88-92 hydrogen and 8-12 helium by percent volume of gas molecules.